Hey guys, it's Devin here with the Inner Gamer. I'm here with Katrina, and we are standing at the Versus Evil booth playing a little bit of Pillars of Eternity 2. Katrina, how are you today?
Hey, I am really good. How are you?
Living the dream. So Katrina, tell us a little bit about Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, so Pillars of Eternity 2 is a direct continuation of the first game. However, you don't really need to play the first one in order to understand what's going on in the second game. However, we do kind of suggest that you might want to play the first one. We give a little bit of background. It takes place in the Deadfire archipelago, which is a series of islands in the same world as the first game took place. It's just kind of, off to the side. And there's a ton of stuff to explore. There's a bunch of different cultures and factions you can side with. And you can choose to either just go through all of the main islands, or you can decide to veer off and go on your own adventure and go check out all of those small islands, because you don't know what you're going to find there.
Well, that sounds pretty awesome so far. So being a fantasy RPG, what can people expect from this game story-wise?
So, we can't talk much about the story right now.
I try to get spoilers, guys, I'm sorry.
Unfortunately. However, the story is very, very incredible. Like, we are so excited about the story, but we can't share it. So if you remember, well, you don't because you didn't play the first one.
She's calling me out, that's fine. That's fine.
In your keep in the first game, there's a giant statue of Adnua. And in the second game, the god Aethys inhabits the body of the Adnua sculpture, and he wakes up and he starts destroying things. And so it's your job as a watcher who can communicate with the gods to go track down Aethys and find out why he's doing what he's doing and try and stop him.
So how many hours was this first game?
So if you're just getting through the very main storyline, it would be about 25 hours. However, I would say it's more around 60 to 70, or if you really want to do all of the content, you can easily play it for about 150 hours. For
people who play like Skyrim for hundreds of hours, you could sink a lot of time into games like this.
Yes.
So what can we expect then with Pillars of Eternity 2?
It possibly might be even bigger. So, we're still finalizing some things, but you can expect that it will be around the same length or bigger.
So let's shift gears a little bit here, and let's talk a little bit about the game itself. So what can we expect from this being a fantasy RPG? What can we expect to see with the characters that you get to play in this?
So each of the characters has a very in-depth storyline, and each of the main companions has their own quest. So there's a lot of different companions. The original three from the first game, Adair, Pallegina, and Aloth, are all present in the second game. However, there's a bunch of new faces as well. There are more companions than there are spots in your party, so you have to pick and choose who you want in your party. But it's interesting to go through the game and uncover more about each of the companions and find out what they're seeking and what their intentions are and what their goals are. So
awesome. So for that then, with these companions, are we looking at things like rogue, wizard, sword and board fighters?
Yes. So there's all of those classes. However, we did add for this game multi-classing. So you can select 2 different classes. There's about, I would say, 55 combinations for multi-classing, but then if you factor in subclasses, there's over 1,000 combinations. You're
blowing my D&D mind right now, because that's like one of the main things that you take away from role-playing games like D&D, where you can subclass or multi-class. Is that kind of an inspiration for this game?
Yes, definitely. And of course, the typical Infinity Engine games and Baldur's Gate. So it's a little, inspired by that and D&D.
Okay, very cool. So as far as the game itself, when can we expect to actually play it?
Spring 2018. We don't have a set date yet. We're working on it, but spring.
Okay, spring, and just on PC?
Yes.
Well, very cool. So if we want to find this game, where do we need to go to find Pillars of Eternity 2?
So if you'd like to find out more about the game, you can always go to eternity.obsidian.net, or you can go onto Steam, and you can find it on the Steam store, add it to your wish list if you want, and read more conversations between fans on the page.
Well, very cool. Well, you got to hear, guys. Pillars of Eternity 2, check it out. All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap up PAX South 2018. We have played a lot of games. We talked to a lot of really cool people. I'm exhausted, so I'm going to go get a drink now. But in the meantime, head over to theinnergamer.net. You'll see all the stuff over here. Subscribe, like us, follow us. We're going to have a lot of content coming out soon, so thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.